This is a short-eared owl, and a lot of these animals, they do get their names from some characteristics that they have, and you can't really see any ears on this bird, but that's because this bird's not too happy with us. If this bird were alert or happy, it would kind of have, right above its eyes, it would have these ear tufts or feather tufts. It's the most hawk-like of the owls. You can see that it's got a pretty small body on it. Remember, it does open its wing up there. Pretty small body, pretty small legs there, and it's actually lives more in a marshland area, so it's also sometimes known as the marsh owl. He is balancing by using his tail. All birds are gonna do that, kind of like a squirrel on a telephone wire there. Kind of uses its tail for balance as well. So, if you look closely at its face, it's got a roundish shaped face. We call this a facial disc. And what's that there for? Does anybody know? Hearing. Yes. So that helps funnel sound back to their ears. Their ears are on the sides of their head, just like ours, but they're actually placed asymmetrical, which means one on one side is up a little bit higher than the one on the other side. Helps them better triangulate the sound. If you look at this bird's eyes, you can see that they're yellow. That has to do with the time of day that this bird hunts. See, if birds have yellowish eyes, they are what we call crepuscular, meaning they hunt when the sun is going up and coming down, so dusk and dawn. So their eyes are packed with rods, which recept light and shading. So how much do you think a bird like this would weigh? Keep in mind, they have hollow bones.
4 ounces.
4 ounces, a little bit more than that, right around a half a pound. So, yeah, not too much.
And she's actually the only member of the falcon family that we do have at Shavers Creek, so she's actually a member with the peregrine, of course, the famous one in there, but she can actually go over 100 miles an hour to 150 when she's diving. Of course, peregrine go much faster than that, but gotta get her to open her wings. She does have those very pointed wingtips. She actually was raised as a falconry bird, so she is definitely used to people. She is not afraid of us. She likes our attention. But she is a little bit more aggressive when she does want our attention. But this is a barn owl. Yep, not to be confused with bard, which we didn't bring with us today. But so this is a barn owl. Yep. And of course, barn owl because they love barns, definitely. And their favorite food is they can actually eat up to one single bird. We feed them 3 chicks a day each, but they can actually eat up to 1,500 mice in 1 year. And they're also called the heart shape. It's a heart-shaped facial disc, which they're pretty famous for. They're the only ones that don't have more of that kind of ocular oval facial disc. They're the only birds, the only owls in Pennsylvania that have that different facial disc. You can see that he does have pretty good use of his wings, so that's why we did have to separate him from his
red-tailed hawk. All right. So another way you can identify a red-tailed hawk is these belly bands that they have right here, especially whenever they're in the sky. Another way, you see this dark red band right on the bottom part of the tail. One cool thing about that, the darker the pigment on these birds, on any part of them, the stronger it is. So she actually has that back there because whenever she does hunt, whenever she catches her prey, she drags her tail. Anytime she lands, she's going to drag her tail on the ground, so that needs to be a little bit stronger than the rest of the parts of the feather. And also you see her feet are also that very dark color, her talons at least, and her beak is that color as well. So those are probably the 3 strongest parts of her body right there. So you see the color of the feet of this bird? Does anybody have any idea why they're yellow like that? Now in the wild, they're going to be more of a grayish, brownish, or whitish color. And it has to do with what they eat. See this bird, at Shavers Creek, we feed it day-old baby chicks. So this bird, in particular, most of our other birds, well, some of our other birds were hit by cars. This bird was actually shot. So you can see that she has a spot on her breast right there, and her right wing. You can see that it actually has a spot right there. And so you can really see this bird balancing with her tail there. What are you doing in your group? So, how much do you think a bird like this would weigh? Pretty close. Pretty close. I'd say this bird in particular weighs a little over 4 pounds. So what do you think the wingspan of this bird is? She can't fully extend her wing. Right around 4 feet. Right around 48 inches. And so when she's got her wings open there, you can see the built-in camouflage that she has. She's really light on the bottom and very dark on the top, and that actually has to do with when she's hunting. So if something were to look up at the sky, she would kind of blend in with the sky. And now if something were to look down on her, for example, maybe maybe an eagle, maybe something would be hunting her, she kind of would blend in with the ground. It's not a foolproof camouflage system, but kind of works. And whenever they get something that they're eating, they will actually do what is called mantling, and they'll actually take their wings and kind of cover up what they're eating as they're eating it. So, do you guys think this bird migrates? Think this is a migratory bird?
No.
It's not. So you'll find these in Pennsylvania year-round. So, all raptors, they have 14 vertebrae in their neck. Humans only have 7, so that's the reason that this bird can keep its head still. Keep its head still whenever I move it around here. The reason that she does that is so she doesn't have to readjust or refocus her eyes whenever she's hunting. Sometimes, farmers probably wouldn't like red-tailed hawks because they used to be notoriously named the chicken hawk, which some farmers didn't enjoy them because they killed their chickens.